Hey, what's up? I heard you want a tattoo, or you're at least very, very interested in it. Interested in it. Good news, good news, good news. I have a little bit. How do I show this? How I have a little bit, so I feel like I'm a little bit qualified on the do's and don'ts of like tattoos. So yeah, let's get to it. Lately, I've been seeing an influx of just bad tattoos lately, ranging from more controversial ones to a little bit funny innuendos up the throat to just tattoos that are like downright bad. So I guess I'll just be talking about, let's go by pain level, let's go by where on your body and price, and
Boy, if you don't get
aftercare.
your ass home.
And I guess like the last one will be like how to make sure you don't get a fucked up tattoo. So let's get into it. So basically, the number one issue is pain level. A lot of people are actually very, very sensitive to pain and tattoos. So basically, I've been seeing things like people just, screaming, crying, getting their tattoos done, or people literally going under surgery. Like anesthesia, going under anesthesia, and having like 5 tattoo artists, like they're like 5 different hair braiders just on a person's back or all over their body, just tattooing them like to the ends to God, so like for 12 fucking hours, 6 hours. And yeah, so there's many ways people handle tattoo pain, and some ways I just don't recommend it. Basically, it varies from person to person, but do expect something feeling like a cat scratch, or like your skin's being cut open, and like a burning like sensation, like someone is scratching at your skin with their bare nails and is burning a bit. And it does get a bit irritating, especially depending how they line or color in your work. It can just feel like that, kind of like a sunburn, and someone is like rubbing like a rough fabric on it or something like that, and it kind of feels hot at times. For me, for my face tattoo, it actually was the least painful tattoo. It was a 3 out of 10. I felt some pinches here and there, but realistically, it didn't feel like anything bad. It felt like a little bit sharper than a pen, drawing on my own face. The most expensive ones are usually the most painful ones. So yeah, so for example, my koi fish, it was a bit more painful towards like my elbow area and towards like the beginning part of my wrist, but everywhere else around my arm was super painless, and I was falling asleep during my tattoo. And that's the thing, some people literally do fall asleep during their tattoo sessions, and I'm one of them. For example, when I got my angel tattoo, I seemed to be very sensitive around the wrist area, and that was my very first tattoo at 18, and that was very irritating. It took some time for me to get used to it, maybe because it's more of a softer area. But yeah, also for my forearm, it seems like the harder parts of my body can sustain the pain better. They usually say more fat can actually help block the pain, but everyone is different. And then my most recent tattoo right there, the Eye of Horus, that wasn't really that painful. It was just a bit irritating when the tattoo artist was coloring in the black. To be completely honest, so I would rate a scale of 1 to 10. I would say an average of 6, like 4 to 6 for a pain scale level. Some parts are not irritating at all. You can just feel it. Some parts are kind of painful where I want that to go away. It's just like deep scratching. Some parts I don't feel anything, So it all depends. So. Usually people say around the ribcage area is most painful. Honestly, around like your elbows is more painful, maybe your neck as well, and like your hands and stuff like that. The best places for a beginner for tattoos would be their forearms, their legs, their back, and I would say like a more fleshy area like your abdomen, or even somewhere like your chest area. And I would say that because I would see that art that is the most type of like common placements, but also I don't really hear a lot of people complaining about pain that much. Really, it's like a 6 out of 10 for people. So yeah, I don't recommend, you know, putting yourself under anesthesia just to get a really cool tattoo. You can like die from that, and even like tattoo artists and like doctors themselves wouldn't even do it. But if you want to do it, if it's worth it for you, I'm not here to stop.
Boy, if you don't get the fuck out my face.
So next, that goes on into placement. So placement is very important. It's really important for how your tattoo will look and the pain level of it, of course. So placement is important so your body won't look weird with the tattoo, and vice versa. It's good to find an artist that is educated on knowing like the roundness and like the curves of a person's body. So my tattoos does flow well because the artist does know anatomy pretty well in my body. So make sure you do research on an artist who knows what they're doing, or not just trying to copy and paste something that's like 2D on like a 3D, you know, body like yours. And I would recommend, like I said, the chest, arms, back, the abdomen, the legs. Those are like the prime places. And I would say in particular, fine line tattoos hurt the least. You know, color, I say, you know, non-red colors, because I have a little bit of like blue and yellow in one of my tattoos. They tend to hurt the least, but like red color, red ink, I heard it hurts more. For me, I don't know, because I didn't really have an issue with it. And also remember that, you know, red ink can be an irritant to some people's skin. So remember that, because that's something that's not uncommon. Please make sure it's like a two-way thing. You research your tattoos and make sure you go to a good quality, reputable tattoo artist. All right, so that's kind of the problem, because some people be putting weird shit on their body, like, you know, pig skin, or even Ariana Grande, who had like barbecue on her hands and stuff like that, like in Japanese. So make sure you go to a person whose ethnicity matches the language you're trying to, you know, get tatted by. And at least if you can't find someone that is educated in that type of language, please go online and do some research and in real life to find someone who is able to like translate that for you. Even go to like a local community college or something like that and ask a teacher for some help, and they can help you. Because whether it be in Arabic, Spanish, Latin, Chinese, Japanese, Thai, the list can go on. No matter what language it will be in, there is a big chance that you might have some weird shit on your body. So make sure you got that, okay? All right. So number 2 is make sure you word your things out right with the logos, with what you word on your body. Because I've seen things like people having like an electrolyte neck. Like they have like energetic necks out there. People have like blocks on their neck. People have like a lot of these weird things, okay? I've seen a lot of interesting neck tattoos that showcases how much maybe they might be the throat goat. Maybe not. I don't really think that is their, you know, I don't really think that's their intention. I'm not too sure if that is. So make sure you actually plan out what you got and look back at it, because I don't really think people really think that through or something like that. So make sure you know long term, and especially long term, and even now, how would something look on your neck? Same thing with that is please go to a good quality tattoo artist.
Oh my god, what is that?
Yeah, so it's probably not the best idea to
Oh
get
my
a big
god!
tattoo and then
What
go
is
try it
that?
on.
I got my face tattooed in Fort Lauderdale, and 3 days later it fell off my face.
Tattoo artist. That's the thing. Even when the ideas are good, the execution is not. Sometimes you shouldn't go to a person who is charging $60 for like a 3-hour tattoo. Maybe some apprenticeships, like some apprentices, maybe some of them might be able to do decent enough work if you can find them in tattoo shops. You're better off like saving the money. Like for example, this was a true thing. So my mini tattoo and my face tattoo together was like $160 or something like that. It was under $200. My wrist tattoo, my very first one, was like $250. My forearm tattoo right here was around like $600, and my forearm tattoo right here is $700. So, you know, I had these like 2021, 2022, 2023, and I skipped a year low key, 2025, and I'll get one this year too. So I usually do find artists that charge between $100 and $250 per hour. I go by the quality of the work first, and then that's where I go and save the money for that. People have to remember that they are putting like real stuff injected into their skin. People don't really realize that you're actually having chemicals in your skin that your body is slowly trying to break down over a course of years, centuries, decades. Yeah, it's essentially the same thing as shooting something in your bloodstream. So I wouldn't recommend going to a scratcher. And when I say scratcher, I just mean somebody who does not have like a blood pathogens license and doesn't actually do their work properly. You can tell that by either people having like bleed outs from their tattoos, where in your tattoo you might see some ink underneath your skin, like, you know, a little bit of discoloration, or even just some really bad work I've seen where people's like scabbing process where their tattoo would supposedly heal would get really affected looking, and just, I don't even know how to explain it. It just doesn't look right? And sometimes your skin just falls off and it's just pink, and that is definitely not a good look and not a good experience either. You can get sepsis from that. You can go to the hospital and get into like toxic shock. You can die, obviously. So please go to a reputable tattoo artist, a reputable tattoo shop. Please find somebody who engages in cleanliness, and please don't skimp out on a tattoo artist. Best case scenario, you'll have a shitty looking tattoo, or your tattoo might fade in the next like 12 to like 36 months. Worst case scenario, it will be super infected, it might fall off, or it will just look so fucking nasty. You have to like do more work over it. So you're better off, like, I would say for really small tattoos like this, I would say you should save up to like $250 for it, depending on like who you're trying to go to and how detailed you want the work to be. And I would say bigger pieces, you should save up to $800. I would say between $500 and $800 you can find, you know, a good artist, but you have to remember what style you want. I want a more stylized pattern of something that is more Eastern themed on my arm or one side of my body, and the other side is more American traditional and stylized as well. So I want like a storyline with a little bit of style, and then I want just some fun things that come to my everyday thoughts in a very cartoonish way. So you definitely need to find a person who is able to fulfill that aesthetic request, and to remember to associate the amount of money for that. So if I were to do like a hyperrealism type of thing, I would like save like $1,200 or even up to $1,600 or $1,800 if you wanted like a half sleeve or something like that. So it all depends on what you want. Some things might be more cheaper, some things might be a bit more expensive. Mine is pretty much in the middle. So that is very key and important. Also, for tattoo aftercare, it's pretty set in stone. I don't know if everyone recommends it or tells people about it, but using, you know, a non-scented plain soap like Dove or something like that, and you just use a bar soap and you lightly rub on your tattoo, 1 to 3 days of it healing, and you know, lightly rinse it off with like lukewarm water, and I usually let it air dry. Some people like to like have a wrap over it and let it dry that way, or heal, I mean. Heal that way. There's dry healing and wet healing. What I did for my tattoos, I did mix up like dry healing and a little bit of like semi-wet healing, where I would, you know, kind of soak like, you know, non-scented lotion like Lubriderm on my tattoos, and I did that for like a month or month and a half. But that also does depend on your body type and like how dry your skin can get. So that's pretty much what I did. For my most recent tattoos, I did pretty much just pure, you know, dry healing for my face tattoo and my mini Ankh tattoo. But for the rest of them, you know, they were pretty much open dry healing. I did have a little like wrap covering for my most two recent ones, but the other ones were pretty much a light amount of you know, loose saran wrap covering and stuff like that. So that's pretty much the process of that, and you know, it's pretty simple. You just lay low during your healing season and just make sure to put sunscreen and stay moisturized, eat healthy, and make sure to be careful in the sun. So yeah, that's pretty much it for that, because a lot of the main problems people have are pricing, thinking things through, double checking, and quality. That's pretty much it. And yeah, so I really do recommend just doing your research and don't rush anything, and to really enjoy yourself, have fun, and really think things through, and make sure to find something good quality. It's better to wait, better to be safe than sorry. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Pretty straightforward. I hope you like this video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you later.